Good morning and welcome to Morning News on New Day right here on TV3. We are coming to you live from our studios at Sadesawe Kanda. We are also streaming live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. My name is Safwa Boahene. Coming up. "2024 West Africa Secondary School Certificate Examination WASSCE results risk delaying due to government's indebtedness to the West Africa Examination Council WAEC. Confusion rocks the Ghana Freedom Party after General Secretary and National Organizer writes contradictory letters regarding the participation of the party in the 2024 elections. Scholarship Secretariat yet to release money for students with special needs at the University of Ghana. And also coming up, Institute of Economic Affairs raises concern as Ghana's debt continues to rise despite International Monetary Fund program. Details of these and many more coming up shortly. Please stay. This is your Election Command Center, where we bring you all the credible news update in the world of politics. To our first story. Confusion has rocked the Ghana Freedom Party after the Electoral Commission gave the party 10 days to provide a candidate to replace Madam Ikuadonko following her death. Two letters have emerged in November 5, with one indicating the party has found a replacement. The first letter, signed by General Secretary of the party, George Afful, said the Ghana Freedom Party, GFP, has nominated Philip Apiakubi as the candidate to replace former flag bearer Ikuadonko, pursuant to Article 40, Clause 4 of the Constitution. In a letter written to the Electoral Commission, the letter indicated the nomination of the presidential candidate will be filed by the party within the stipulated time frame given by the Commission. The other letter issued, a few hours before the first one, signed by the national organizer Richard Boche with the title Notice of Withdrawal from the 2024 December 7 elections, and addressed to the EC, said Executive Committee of the party have decided to withdraw from the impending December elections. The letter said the decision, irrespective of how difficult it may have been, has been taken to posthumously honor the commitment and sacrifices of Madam Ikuadonko. It will be recalled that a week ago, the EC halted the printing of ballot papers following the death of Ikuadonko, who was at the moment the GFP's presidential candidate. Well, meanwhile, a video has also surfaced where one faction is seen at the EC office filing some documents. Still on GFP, and the parliamentary candidate for Nsawama Dwejui, Patrick Tete, is questioning hierarchy of the party, what they seek to gain by creating confusion among members. Speaking to TV3, he advised leadership of the party to respect wishes of the late founder Ikuadonko.
That is the unknown question, and I will use this opportunity because Media Channel TV3 is a big media platform. What I'm saying here is that a lot of people in this country who want to use the demands of our founder and leader Ikuadonko for their selfish interest. And we as party executives are not going to allow that to happen. So what is the achievement of Ghana Freedom Party withdrawing from this election? I don't know what exactly whoever that is doing wants to achieve. But like I'm saying, I'm at the sector, the parliamentary candidate for the South constituency, and I'm telling you with the fact that today, Ghana Freedom Party filed a nomination today, which was received by some Otete, who is the director of British Parliamentary Commission, and we are waiting for a response of the commission. So, as it stands, we've done that, and we are waiting. Well, I can confirm that for myself. Personally, I haven't had any engagement with any of the major political parties that are mentioned, so I can't confirm anything.
Now to the NDC. The sole situation remains the cardinal sin of the Fourth Republic that should never occur again. The words of John Mahama as he takes on the judiciary once more in denial of representation of the Central Kofi, Akpafu and Likpe. John Mahama was speaking in Akpafu where he campaigned on Tuesday night.
And the justice system must be consistent. If it is inconsistent, it is not fair to the people of this country. Because you treat people one way, 4 years they can be without a member of parliament, it doesn't matter. Their representation is not important to you. Jechikwesin should be out of parliament for almost 2 years, it doesn't matter. Because they are saying enough people are not your people. Then, when it comes to MPs, the speaker declares their seats vacant for 1.5 months until we go to election. That one, it is unheard of. Their human rights are being affected. I mean, what kind of justice system is this? You know, and we believe that an injustice was done to the people of Sao, and as he said, it has been called the cardinal sin of the Fourth Republic. And never again must this happen. The rights of everybody in Ghana are important. And everybody must be equal before the law. The people of Central Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, and Likpe are not inferior citizens of Ghana. The citizens of Asin North are not inferior citizens of Ghana, compared to the two that the Supreme Court is struggling.
Let's still remain on the camp of the NDC because former national chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofosu, has hit back at Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, describing his economic policies as weapon for mass destruction. He was speaking during the campaign tour by the NDC vice presidential candidate, Professor Jane Nano Opoku-Agyeman, and other team members in the Volta region.
Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is in the Volta region for a 2-day campaign tour. She and the team on day one interacted with community members in the North Tongue and South Tongue, Keta, Ketu South, Akachi North and Adaklu constituencies.
The choices we make in life make a difference. At the surface of it, it's about how we vote and who we vote for. Whether that invisible hand will allow you to survive or not. Whether it will come to your aid when you are sinking or not. Now we are close to such a choice again. As we move towards the elections, our prayers, everything is transparent. Peaceful, without violence.
Former national chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofosu says President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia lied to the Ghanaian people to win power and should not be trusted again.
They have destroyed banks, community banks, the small micro, finance companies. They have destroyed all. They have destroyed even existing banks, Unibank. They have destroyed Pakwasindum Group Indum Bank, which was providing services for our women, our market women, and people who want to be in the industry. And we are not going to allow him to come and lie to Ghanaians again. When I saw him talking, ranting, raving, and telling all those things, the only question that I ask is that, do you trust this man?
He described Dr. Bawumia's policies as weapon of mass destruction.
I heard Dr. Bawumia saying that he's going to create 4 million jobs. And I ask, have you created some? Now, Bawumia economic policies under Nana Akufo-Addo has become weapons of mass destruction, resulting in several fatalities.
The team has been asking the indigents to continue to vote massively for the NDC on December 7th.
Let's go to the NPP now, and the flag bearer of the NPP has promised the people of Akumadan in the Ofenso North constituency of the Ashanti region of building a tomato factory for them. The tomorrow factory, or the tomato factory, according to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, will be part of the Agricultural Mechanization Center that he will roll out when voted into power. He was addressing party faithfuls at Akumadan in the Ofenso North constituency of the Ashanti region.
Ye duduani nyina ya ikuafo enti ekuafo ye ya Ghana be ye enti nyame adoma efidie a yede ama every district say ye mfanye kwan no medi efidie a ye beboa ekuafo ye be hihye district agric mechanization centers ama every district efidie a yede beboa ekuafo ebeboa ye minim say ebeboa ekuafo Sir Fred Kayano, Adia me pesa me yeso, Ebwa Kuyafo, Ewa Offensive North, Yebeye, Tomato Factory, Amamo, Tomato Factory, Amamo in Offensive North. Choboy, Nishisha Tosumi ansa, Yamiadum, Meba, and ne Ghana, ye light bill no akosoro. Light bill no akosoro. The entire Akosoro ne saying, ye crack oil and gas, edi ye electricity. Ye di fear manonea, oho, ne buo soro, eba, na electricity buono so Akosoro. Me pesa Ghana, ye fan shisha fufro, yemfa kwine fufro, yemfa oil and gas, no, yemfa tuncheng, and go for solar power, solar power, solar power.
Let's go to the EC now. With less than 5 weeks to the December 7 polls, the Electoral Commission is pulling out all the stops to avoid any repeat of past errors in vote collation. Determined to refine its processes, the Commission says it has boosted its team with specialists in mathematics, statistics and actuarial science, a move aimed at ensuring precision in tallying results.
With the countdown of Ghana's elections underway, the Electoral Commission is doubling down to build on its performance from 2020. Deputy Chairperson in charge of corporate affairs of the Commission said it's all about refining every step and reaching even higher standards this time around.
We achieved some success in 2020 and we believe that we are going to replicate same or even we'll try to best what we have done in the past. Some of the things we did in 2020 which succeeded, we have strengthened them.
Emphasizing the Commission's drive to improve the training of its officials, following recommendations from the 2020 elections, Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission in charge of corporate services, Dr. Bosman Asari, noted the Commission has completed the recruitment of additional staff for the December 7 polls.
Recruitment of officials for the elections, we have also done that. In 2021, one of the reports that came out was that some of the observers expressed concerns about the training our officials were taking to. So this time, the Commission has decided to strengthen that. Very soon, we are going to begin the training at the national level where we train all our regional officials as well as IT persons working in the various regions. When we finish with that, now we have what we call the training of trainers program which takes place at the regional level.
He added the Commission has recruited specialists in fields like mathematics, statistics and actuarial science to support vote collation, a step aimed at ensuring accuracy throughout the collation process.
The Commission has currently recruited over 220,000 individuals who are going to work on this list. 2024, another new thing the Commission has done is that we have also included people who are making support us with the collation. These are people who have a background in mathematics, statistics, actuarial science, those who are very good with quantitative methods. So they are going to assist the return workers at the constituency in collating the figures of all the polling stations. They are going to assist. But at the regional level, we have also employed individuals who are going to assist the collation at the regional level.
Meanwhile, the NDC has welcomed the Commission's hiring of temporary staff, but is sounding an alarm. The concern: these new recruits might be open to influence on election day if their basic needs aren't covered.
With the temporary staff, it is important for the EC to also cater for their needs. I'm speaking this way because in the Jisu by-elections, we saw a Minister of State, one Dr. Nyako, who actually gave money to one of the presiding officers. Why don't you advance money to the EC staff a day before the election so that they don't come to the polling stations in an empty stomach, and political parties, or what you can say, the political operatives, can begin to bribe them and try to influence them, as we saw in Nyako.
Responding to this, Deputy Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Asari, says they are aware and are working to address these concerns to maintain integrity.
I think Mr. Maliban was asking something about paying temporary officials. This is something the Commission has been looking at, that option of paying, feeding them or providing revenue for that. But
And let's do some more stories. And the U.S. Embassy in Ghana is holding a breakfast and watch party for the 2024 U.S. presidential election. The event, currently ongoing at the ambassador's residence, is a way to allow invited guests to watch the ongoing coverage of the polls and also allow for interactions between the ambassador and the media. Christian Yale, my colleague, is there for us and is joining us via phone for an update. Christian, thank you very much for joining us. If you can hear me, bring us up to speed on what is happening at the U.S. Embassy in Ghana right now.
Thank you very much. And so what we know is that this is more or less like a private breakfast and watch party being organized by the U.S. Embassy in Ghana. And it is actually happening at the residence of the U.S. ambassador to Ghana. What it seeks to do essentially is to help the media and all the invited guests here to have the opportunity to gain an understanding of the U.S. election process. What we know also is that there are some politicians who are here, as well as members from the media, from all media outlets that have been invited. But what we know is that when you look at the U.S. election as it is ongoing, the results, we know currently questions on people's minds include, when are we going to see the results announced? But what we know, until then, is that the results are sometimes declared state by state within hours of the polls closing, meaning that we get a running tally as we go. But this year's contest, as we have seen it to be, could mean that there is going to be a longer wait. Now, as we know, the first polls closed around 6 p.m. Eastern time. That is the local time in the United States, which was like 11 p.m. in Ghana. And we're expecting that the last polls are going to close around now, which is like after 6 a.m. currently. Okay. And so as it is, we know that it has been a very tight race. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have been running neck and neck in all the states, especially in the battlegrounds, what we call the swing states. And so we are watching closely what the outcome really is going to be. But what is the interest here is that whoever gets to win this election has some form of impact or consequences or larger, bearing on Ghana especially. Also because these two countries, Ghana, U.S., have had some similarities when it comes to the democratic process and also the electoral process itself, and even Africa in a whole. And so a lot of policies, including the immigration policies, you talk about economy as well, and then even governance as well, are having some form of similarities that we're looking forward to. And so really, it is a great anticipation, and we are here as well watching what is going on, the live coverage of the election, and then we'll see what the outcome is.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Christian Yale. Just spoke to Christian Yale, my colleague, who is at the U.S. Embassy in Ghana right now, giving us all the updates regarding the U.S. general elections. Now, let's move away from that. And the release of the 2024 West Africa Secondary School Certificate Examination, WASSCE results, risk delay. This is because of the government of Ghana's indebtedness to the West Africa Examination Council, WAEC. Head of Public Affairs at WAEC, John Kapi, speaking speaking on Ghana Tonight, explained the ongoing funding shortfall could impact the timeliness of releasing results, particularly affecting the marking and processing stages.
The total amount for the WAS for school candidates 2024 is 186.437 million. A few additional hundreds of cedis. All right, so before the commencement of the examination, the government gave us 60.9 million. So that's about a third of the amount that was needed. So we've been able to send officers out there. They've gone to do whatever they need to do. But now we need to also pay the personnel that we use for the examinations. We should be able to pay examiners who are going to start marking the scripts very soon, and any other persons that we engage, whose services we engage, to be able to complete the process of, marking and releasing the results. Basically, what we're saying is that it's a kind of chain that we are working with. Once the exams are over, we have to mark the scripts, process the results, release them, so that universities can also go ahead with their admissions, and then their academic calendar can also, take off smoothly. Now, if there's any delay on our part, it will also delay the academic calendar for the universities, and probably it may have some effects on all other students who are going to any other tertiary institution for that matter.
The dreams and aspirations of some students with special needs at the University of Ghana may hit a snag if government fails to pay their tuition fees before Friday, November 8, 2024. Scholarship Secretariat's delay in releasing their funds for over a year now has left many grappling with the hardship. Frederick Kunzotiani, my colleague, reports the frustrations of these students.
Things are very, very, very difficult. They have to get us the school fees, including Belgium, so that at least I can use that little money to buy something.
Since childhood, Richmond and his colleagues have vowed not to beg for alms on the street, but rather climb the academic ladder. This passion and determination has been fueling Richmond's vision of a renowned lawyer someday. Richmond, who unfortunately lost his sight at a tender age, has defied all odds and is now a level 300 student of the University of Ghana reading law. But the inability of the Scholarship Secretariat to release funding for his program threatened his future.
I've been in the house for some time now. I completed SHS for around 2019, and because of financial matters, I couldn't come to school. I just came to school last year. That was somewhere January. So different course is going to be sad something for me.
Richmond relies on the benevolence of individuals, which he says is hard to come.
My mom is the one who takes care of me, and then she borrows from people. And then, so as I speak, my mother owes so many people because of these school fees matters. I cannot even sleep because anytime I try to sleep, I remember that school fees matters, and I have to register my course. As I speak, my people are attending lectures, and they started today, but I cannot go because I have not registered.
The stories of Gosway and Jeffrey, also visually impaired, are not different from Richmond.
I was coming to the University of Ghana. I was told by my colleagues that the government pays the school fees for persons with disabilities, special students, at the various tertiary levels. So I was happy. But when I came, I was told, looking at things, the fees will not come this year. So I had to look for my own money and then pay my fees.
If the government has promised to pay our school fees and then the government is not paying, then it becomes difficult because all those people who would have paid our school fees knows that the government is supposed to pay. So even if you go to them for school fees, they will tell you that the government has offered to pay your school fees, so they don't have anything for you.
President of the Ghana Students with Special Needs say they are yet to get a positive response from the Scholarship Secretariat.
We have an office on campus. We reach out to them. They reach out to the Scholarship Secretariat, but they told us that they don't have any money. So if you are planning to demonstrate, unless we go to the Ministry of Finance, because they're supposed to release the funds to them before they can pay our school fees.
Dedicate some of them monies from our Scholarship Secretariat and the GET Fund to provide free tertiary education, both tuition and accommodation, to all persons of disabilities who make it into the universities so that they can all benefit.
These students want government to expedite payment of their fees before the deadline for course registration.
Please settle our fees before Friday because course registration ends on Friday. And after Friday, you can't register your courses. So if you don't pay your school fees after Friday, it means you have no option than to defer your courses.
In a WhatsApp conversation with the registrar of the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat, Dr. Kinslin Ajiman assured them of government plans to disburse the funds. With about some 4 days to the end of the course registration, what will be the fate of these students of special needs? Would they be able to register their course and join their colleagues? Or what will happen to them? Frederick Kunzotiane, TV3 News, University of Ghana.
That will be all for the morning news this morning. New Day continues right after this break. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Safwa Bwahini. Do have a lovely day.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
My head really aches, feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry, I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procode. And where they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. The only Procode we know is from Kojak. If it's not Procode from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
Wow. So this is the original Procode. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions, insist on Procode from Kojak.
Procode, K-O-J-A-C-H. Procode.
This advert is FDA approved.
You'll ever taste.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Mom.
Hope you're having fun at Granny's.
Yeah, but Grandma doesn't have my favorite top chocolate spread. Hi, Mom. Mommy, please, I missed top chocolate spread on bread.
Tasty too. Made just for you and me. Choco, it's chocolate choco. It's chocolate choco. It's chocolate choco. Top choco. It's chocolate.
Surprise children.
Yay! It's chocolate choco.
Taste of chocolate. This advert is FDA approved.
Did you know that MSMEs drive 70% of Ghana's GDP and employ 85% of the workforce? But despite their impact, many still face challenges like access to credit and skills. Join GIZ for the Greater Accra Regional Network on Entrepreneurial Development and Employment Promotion Conference. This 2-day event themed Sustainable Solutions for Enterprise Development and Employment Promotion features workshops, expert talks, and success stories. Are you an MSME? Register today to showcase your business for free. Date 12th and 13th November 2024. Venue Kofi Ohene Kudedu Hall, UPSA, Accra. Time 9:30 a.m. daily. Mark your calendar. This is your opportunity to connect, learn, and grow. For more information, call Bernice on 0244 311 409. Let's strengthen Ghana's MSMEs. together, we build a stronger future.
Mama, stop worrying. How is Kobna? I got some of his medication. His friends are raising funds to support us.
The kidney disease has taken the toll. But my son and our finances.
Mama, there is hope. The pharmacist told me about Mahama's policies on chronic diseases. John Mahama is going to establish the Mahama Cares Fund to support Ghanaians with kidney diseases, sickle cell, cancer, diabetes, hypertension and other heart conditions to support and ease the financial burden on families like ours. Mama, but that is not all. Ghanaians can access free healthcare when they go to the CHIPS compound, health centers, clinics and polyclinics. Mama, we have to vote wisely for Kobne's sake. Mama, wipe your tears. Wipe your tears. Mahama cares.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
In a world where every moment counts, one team stands ready to deliver the news that shapes our lives. A team driven by truth, integrity, and unwavering dedication. They travel to the front lines in the tireless pursuit of truth to bring you the world stories like never before. Get ready to witness the stories that matter. We have the most trusted voices in journalism who are committed to delivering accurate, balanced, and thought-provoking news. TV3, first in news.
Every day on TV3 New Day.
Money cooking, and today I'm back on set. Four people are winning 2,000. Oh, thank you.
What, Charlie?
Thank you.
Please,
I'm channeling my inner,
I love your
Michelle
pearls,
Obama.
man. I love your pearls.
I'm channeling my inner Michelle Obama this morning. Good morning to y'all. Who's winning the American elections, by
Charlie,
the way?
I just say Trump the lead.
Yeah, he's in the lead.
So far, raised to 200.
270. So he's supposed to get 270, and I think it's looking more like it.
And Harris is not doing it.
Harris and Harris. Excuse you?
Kamala Harris.
Minimsa washeda. Adesana nkofo kanu almost say Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Oh wow.
Kamala Harris.
I see. Special
Harris.
happy birthday going out to Niels Ade. Niels Ade, one of my very, very good friends, First National Bank. I can worry him for Africa.
Oh, really?
Niels, good morning to you. It's a special, special day. Happy birthday to you. Do party, Niels, do party. Me, I want to come and dance today, so please let it happen. But yes, *439#, you're cashing out with us today. If you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, 4 people walking away with 2,000 Ghana cedis.
What's the song? What's the song? What's the song for that? Cash.
Cash
mommy.
Yes, cash money cookie.
Cash money cookie.
Yes,
cash money cookie.
Cash money cookie. Mpachomumbo and you star 439 hash. 4 people walking away with 2,000 Ghana cedis, but it's a regular day, so you choose option 2. Today is not the jackpot. Choose option 2. That will take you to TV3. Follow the rest of the instructions. Who cash out with us, they will all get obesimes to marry if they are not married already. And all the women who win with us, that's what you're getting. Exactly. Star 439 hash, star 439 hash. Cash out big with us. 4 people walking away with 2,000 Ghana cedis. Option 2. TV3, follow the rest of the instructions.
That's right.
And you're good to go.
Fantastic.
Rolly, how you doing though?
Charlie, I'm doing so well. You know, I didn't sleep too well because I was monitoring the US elections. So I decided to wear election to do the brand activation to tell Ghanaians that when it comes to elections and getting the latest updates, you know, we had done a lot of big things because we had a whole year of an election plan, and we had Astus Ahinyabla as well as Mabel Akubanase and the rest of the team. Of course, we had the board, the chief executive for the group, all leading this big policy direction to make sure that for the 2024 general elections, we're able to provide comprehensive elections. And, you know, we went to the field.
I know, right?
And did community manifesto. Community. and then you see, we say, she rado. Then we'll do and you know, when we do that, we use that to whip up enthusiasm because the crowd that tends to come. Initially, when we started, we had a lot of, especially from the governing New Patriotic Party, they didn't want to come, etc. But when they saw that, look, this is community manifesto where development needs to be brought to the doorstep of the ordinary Ghanaians, then they started, you know, participating. And particularly for me, all the places that I've been, I think my best experiences will be Sylvester Tete for English Amanfrom. That will be Botiano English Amanfrom. And then Okre. Okre. There's this gentleman who currently is the MCE, who is a parliamentary candidate for the MPP. And his oratory skills were just out of the woods.
Amazing, right?
Fantastic guy for Okre constituency. And that was a fantastic one for me as well. And when it came to the NDC side, of course, I love Edem Agbana was fantastic. Edem Agbana, that guy is a stubborn guy.
And the parliamentary candidates for the MPP, oh my goodness, the guy who refused to give me the microphone. My God.
And Edem Agbana has been my showboy for this, I have to say, road show for Community Manifesto. Fantastic guy, elucidating. And then, of course, we had Zanato, Dr. Zanato Rollins as well.
Whole central for me as well. Some of the slogans really sounds good. There was another PC who had the slogan of no melekpo, no melesewa, no melesewa, no melekpo. I mean,
and then we've had some hot spots. So we went to many of the hot spots. So for example, we went to pitch camp in Charlie, we didn't even do the community manifesto at all. It just didn't happen because
they boycotted it.
The tension between the two parties, NDC, MPP, were just up the rafters. Then, of course, Bella Mundi went to, is it Ewutu Senya?
Ewutu Senya.
Is it Ewutu Senya East?
Yes, it was so hot.
Ewutu Senya East.
It was so hot.
So we have Nakoyo, who is there, and then Kasua Van Dam herself, that is the current fisheries minister.
It was a showdown.
Who also doubles as a member of parliament or the incumbent. And also, and then we went to Suhu, another place. We're there, and then they I think somebody threw something, hit my forehead.
It wasn't a joke.
So
we went to Sege as well. And just when I started to speak, the MC or the DC said, Charlie, hey,
And then we went to the Western region.
We've been to a lot of places.
When we're coming back, and Bella also went there to the Western region and then filmed the polluted water. The polluted water. And sometimes when you go to the people, then they'll tell you. But I have to say that kudos to all sides of the political divide, whether you're in opposition or you're in power.
Or even the other smaller parties.
Yeah, the parties as well. There's New Draben. Is it New Draben North? New Draben North, where we have an independent candidate. Both New Draben North, New Draben South. They have two independent candidates from both sides, and you know they're doing so well.
Amazing.
They're doing so well. But look, we want to talk about the U.S. election. Yes. I'm sure many people are following.
Trump seems to be in the
Philadelphia. so maybe we can have some question of the day on the subject.
Well, Emmanuel Greatness. Well, let's take the montage for this morning. When we come back, we'll ask you what you make of the U.S. elections so far. Figures reaching us currently shows that ex-President Trump, who is in the lead right now, that's what the figures are showing this morning. But let's take this morning. We'll come back and pick your thoughts on this one. Welcome back to This Morning. It's still TV3 New Day. Still cash out with that *439#. 2,000 cedis going out to 4 people. And randomly, we are also selecting 30 to 40 people to get 200 Ghana cedi bonuses. So even if you don't win the 2,000 Ghana cedis this morning, you may just receive 200 Ghana cedis from us as bonus for your participation this morning. So you're not losing at all. You're still making money, or you're still replenishing wherever
I love the
money. Yes, replenishing wherever the money came from. But yes, I've been monitoring the U.S. elections as well, and I love the way it's been so peaceful. Look, voters are, or electorates are in the queue very peacefully, no heckling,
no shooting.
Exactly, no shooting, no disturbances whatsoever. Everything is just orderly. They ask you, for the first-time voters who had a little hitch with their registration and all, you just go to the center, then they move you from table to table, take you through the process, and everything is just beautifully smooth. And that's what I'm praying for. On December 7th, that's the prayer I'm praying for Ghana, that everything will go peacefully. 4 years ago, we lost 8 people. It's my prayer that this year we don't lose anyone at all. There will be no casualties. There will be none at all that will say goodbye to us because they've lost their lives. No, we don't want that to happen. So if this peaceful election in America is anything to go by, we are learning from it, and we're going to even do better here in Ghana. But let's go to the phone lines this morning. Alaji is on the telephone. Good morning, Alaji.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well.
Alaji Benigelo Shele. Good morning. That's about.
That's what I
this so. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
The issue about America election. I'm so happy for how these people conduct the election. The election is very peaceful, but record will show. They will set new record will set in America again, because Donald Trump will win the presidential election again. No doubt about that. This show that Ghanaians prepare to bring Excellency John Dramani Mahama about 24-hour economic president. So we learn for them. We learn. Each and any person who wants to cast his votes, they should think the person I'm voting, what that person can do for me. But don't just go and vote by heart, thinking that I belong to MPP. When MPP misbehave, I should continue voting for MPP. If you do so, you don't want your country to grow. Because look at how these people caused the mess. Look at how they stole our country property.
Right.
Look at how they govern the country. Roughly, Kamala Harris is vice president. And John Dramani Mama contested for the vice president. This showed that John Dramani Mama will win. Just send migration to Director General Alaji. You come for me. Thanks to have me. Thank you very much.
Alaji, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
We said talk about US. You're talking about Ghana. You know that when you were talking, Fidelis sent me the video where you wanted to take the mic also. It says, MPPPC forget. Hey, Charlie, I'm a bato.
Samuel Evans Ota says, in the UK, we don't even queue. No party agent and no indelible ink. We use pencils to take a choice, and so nothing like a double mark to reject a ballot. All right, we are learning from the best, and hopefully we're able to emulate that on the 7th of December, 2024. It will be a peaceful one. We are praying for that. And of course, so many people have become more discerning. So many people have come to understand what democracy is. So hopefully we have a good one come December 7th. Another caller is on the line. Welcome to TV3 New Day. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again.
Good morning. Kindly turn down the volume of your TV set. I can hear myself. Yes, sir. Listen to me through the phone. Yes, sir.
Today, I'm asking you to greet my wife, Anita, for me. The other time, I told Roland to greet, and Roland was asking which of them. Hello.
Yes, you didn't mention your name. You didn't tell me where you're calling from. All of a sudden, you are greeting your wife. Which wife?
Oh, I'm calling from Northern Region. I'm a sister for communication officer.
Okay, and you are saying hello to your wife?
Yeah, greet her for me. The other time I told my friend, Mr. Roland, and Mr. Roland was asking me which of the distance.
So he means Anita here. Anita. Is that what he's talking about? Anita Kufu. Oh, okay. Hello. Oh, I think we lost him. Let's cross over to Johnny now.
Alaikum. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. This morning, I want to specially thank all of you who make time to watch Johnny's Bite, and also to those who share the content and like and comment on it and, give feedback. Thank you so much indeed. I have two men of God who said something very striking, and I will share with you. Let's see the flyers, the code cards. So this was from a conversation we had yesterday with Apostle Abraham Lamte. He says, if money buys conscience, stupidity calls the shot. If money buys conscience, stupidity calls the shot. And he made this comment relative to elections, relative to our peace, relative to holding the nation together. Now, for many people, they may be swayed by how much people, and sometimes you listen to the conversations about how people are easily swayed. You suddenly get something small, and then that influences your thoughts. But elections have consequences, as we've been told in the past by Pastor Mensa Otabil, that elections, when you go and queue, it has consequences. So if money buys conscience, stupidity calls the shot. It doesn't matter if the person is your relative, whatever it is, you must decide and choose the best for Ghana. And that was what he said. Let's see the other one. The other one is by Reverend Odami Ansa, Rabbi Odami Ansa. He also spoke about money. He says, the loaded pocket. If you want your pocket to be loaded with enough money, then your mind must first be loaded with enough knowledge on how to make money, keep money, invest money, grow money, spend money, and enjoy money. Always bear in mind that an empty mind will produce an empty pocket. He says, if you want your pocket to be loaded with enough money, then your mind must first be loaded with enough knowledge on how to make money, keep money, invest money, grow money, spend money, and enjoy money. Always bear in mind that an empty mind will produce an empty pocket. He also has a book on how to handle your business and how to, because if you don't control money, money will control you. So those are from the pulpits. Now, show me. There's a picture that I saw of Ghana Airways signboard. And I asked myself this question. So Ghana Airways put this up. They said, still driving, you must be tired. Next time, fly. By Ghana Airways, of course. We do not have Ghana Airways anymore. Because as a country, we decided that we will run the business down. In fact, the last time I checked, we had turned it into a chop bar. And even the chop bar, we collapsed it. The last time I checked, we turned Ghana Airways into a chop bar, the aircraft. And then even the chop bar, we collapsed it. We found a way to collapse it. So how do we feel? And I want you to connect with the two issues that I spoke about. It says, if you want, you must first fill your mind with a lot of knowledge, then you can get money. Obviously, we didn't fill our minds as a country with a lot of knowledge. So what was built by Osagyefo's own hands, we decided to destroy it. We decided to destroy it. So we have now decided to be hiring private jet. If we had not spoken about it, private jet was becoming the mainstay. We don't have a national airline as a country. And we used to have, and sometimes you watch some of these old documentaries, you watch some of these things that we used to produce here. We're now trying to major in the minors and make it look as if we are now getting the things that we used to produce. Things that we used to produce. When you watch some of the old videos and you ask yourself, wow, so Ghana used to do this? Ghana used to have this? Then you have a minister, we had a whole ministry for aviation. Aside transport. Aside a whole ministry for aviation. And you ask yourself, what did the ministers really do? Because this one, it could have earned us money. In fact, it was. The story has it that people used to get tickets for their concubines and girlfriends. And that's how come it was run down. For their concubines and their girlfriends. That's how it was run down. Where is our own Ghana Airways? This morning I came to ask very simple questions. Where is our Ghana Airways? And when are we going to get our Ghana Airways back? Do we deserve to have a Ghana Airways? Yes. So why are we not getting it? Does somebody make a cut each time the president or any of our top officials fly private jet? I don't know. I'm asking. Why are we not in a hurry? And we used to have shipping lines. We used to have this picture will tell you how, as a country, we have retrogressed in many ways, but we try to polish on the debt. We try to polish on the debt. How was Ghana Airways sold? Why was it sold? Could we have kept it? I leave it to your good judgment. There's a gentleman, a grown man, who worked so hard in the cold, in Abuchi. He brought his money down here. And you see, Michael Blankton has been ranting on X and social media, and he's been talking. He says he's looking for a finance minister to sue him. He brought money here. A few months ago, he was praising the government, that the government had done so well. And when the government does something, you say it. But when they do what is not correct to you, you have to say it. And I will insist on that because we were called names. We were called Sambalat and Tobias. We were called names. We said, we will not go to the IMF. We are not a people of short sight, blah, blah, blah. That's why we need the e-levy. We are still taking e-levy and we are at the IMF. Find me the old man's video. Play it.
Recording in the President Manado. Mr. President, your friend Matheson, Sunyana Miwo. Medical recording did not be to Abontia, Mekani Sika Massa. Now we had last year, Medebe to Abontia. Mr. President, banks no go no. Opo me say customers me so be make sure say Ubia Sabekani Sika 100%. Mr. President, when also in Ghana for media one name ho. Menso me Ghana ni. Media press and do now me at me atoso. Mechirim. Say, my coach na eyes broke no Holland 25 years akoye Jumaden. They were Holland, they were Ghana, Krana and Kofumu. They call Holland. The Koyam normal 8 hours ever factories can and so that's what your moody and so forth light here. Obekones Canasa. Team from human donuts man Quanquibia, mean to me and Fessicanto. Now bet now we my in from number 25 good years. Now start me and the I mean to me near Jumama. Kakra minya and the same family me main. The describe it for commercial bank, Eddie for Giant Bank. Giant Bank, 1 year do ya make interest in the Koya, as a president of the World Bank and so the customer sees Cabema. 5 years in the Mesankamis. The medical for commercial bank, so 1.540 billion. And also, time no so ya make interest, none aja akora, Kamabichim, Namidi Biasa, and Quine Biahema. How am I at the pressure and also? And also, Mekoya, as a president, now also Kojibosian IMF. Tia is Kakoto government bono. Ma bank and Faisika MIA. Mr. President, Bonibena Mediayo. Aka Bosume Baku, and Namino, Nadia Kunye Beto. The American Chawa said, and Kokra for Nemera for Mudumiska Koto. Banks in the Wugun, say Gold Coast Financial and the banks in the Wugun. O share or more boss, Ube make sure, say. Customers in Ubia Sabekan is 100%. A Bufu semi woman say. Mimi Sika 840 million. And they have a mammy 200 million and debit to my account. Come on, the crown, come on, mammy, Muha. Mr. President, the American Chawans and Pokrafon and Rafon Kakrano or Macano. The Kandibi Echero and Sanadia Kunano Atoho.
So this is somebody who has worked, broken his back in Holland for 25 years. He gathered his money, having done multiple jobs, including farm work. And he says when he was in Ghana, he didn't go to the farm. But because of the conditions out there, sometimes when the deductions are made for utility, bills, etc., by the time you finish, the money is gone. So he did another layer of work, which was farm job, right? Got money, 25 years, saved all his earnings, and brought it down here. And then he said he put the money in a bank. Then the banks were collapsed. He goes to the bank to go and take his money. And with all the assurance, mind you, the banking sector collapsed. We started off with 9 billion. Oh. By the time we finished, we had done over 20 something. And still people do not have their monies. Now, as a result of this, he is now on BP medication. That's how he's surviving. He's on BP medication. He says, okay, we thought that government bonds were also very reliable. So I went to buy some, and now I can't get my money. He has over 800 million, and then he is giving 200 million. That's what he says. And then he says, the president is not even telling them anything. So the old men and the old women, he said the president needs to come and speak to them. That's a legitimate call. Because if he looks at this 800 million, and he looks at the 200 million that has been put in his account, he thinks it's an insult. And when you say, they say don't say it. And everybody knows that anywhere in the world, when you buy government bonds, it's the safest. So how did we mismanage our situation to the point where now people can't have access to their own monies? How? When you say this, oh, there was global crisis, there was this. When people started asking questions, and for 5 years, he has not had access to his money. When questions came up and the questions arose and people kept asking the questions, we were told it's COVID, Russia, and Ukraine. That was the refrain. COVID, Russia, and Ukraine. Nobody talks about COVID, Russia, and Ukraine anymore. And we have spent money on banking sector collapse or cleanup or whatever you want to call it, and people still do not. He says he doesn't have access to his own money, his hard-earned money. He doesn't have access to it. He doesn't have access to it, and nobody has told him anything. Nobody has explained to him. Nobody has bothered out of courtesy to even address them and talk to them. And at this age, he is now on BP medication. At this age, he has been humiliated to the point where he now has to speak. He now has to speak and beg for his own money. What crime did the people commit? What wrong did the people do? And yet we are told that we are in this together, and the people who tell us that we are in it together, we see the extravagant lifestyle they live. So if your money is locked up and the person who owes you, imagine somebody comes to borrow money from you to go and throw a party. Money that you don't have, that you say, oh, this is very important to me, but because you have come to ask for it, I think I need to lend a helping hand to you. And the person goes to throw a party when you could have used the money for something else, much more valuable. And when you say, they say, don't say it. That's where the pain is. My own money. I cannot have access to it. When I ask questions, they say, shut up. Where from that arrogance? When you ask questions about your own money, they tell you to shut up. As if somebody is doing you a favor. But these are monies that you saved. Your monies that you worked for. That you put it in a bank. And now we understand why people keep money at home. We are all being convinced to go and keep our money in the bank. We tell us, oh, we are building a cashless society. We are doing this, we are doing that. Then when you take your money to the bank, you cannot have access to your money. And nobody wants to explain anything to you. Why? So now, do we realize what we are doing? We are trying now to encourage people to keep their monies at home. And when people start keeping their, because money is supposed to be in circulation. The money that he put there and left there at the bank, a young person could have gone for a loan to start something meaningful for himself or herself. Now if people are tempted to keep their monies at home, as was done in the times of old, where people dug holes and kept their money, do you know what we are doing? We are reversing every progress we have made. And then next thing, because now the thieves know that, oh, people will keep their monies at home, then armed robbery cases might go up. Every cause has an effect. It was Newton that said action and reaction are opposite and equal. We know what is right. We won't do it. When you ask the question, you become the target. You will be vilified. Your character will be assassinated. Why? I saw a video of the vice president talking about the 24-hour economy. Listen to our vice president.
For one job, you will have 3 shifts and 3 workers. So if you have a school, one teacher will come in the morning, another will come in the evening, and another will come at midnight. Including kindergarten teachers. He also says it is voluntary and will be implemented gradually. Ewurade Nyankopɔn. Ladies and gentlemen, I am determined to make a difference, a positive difference. I will work for you and with you, with honesty and integrity, with wisdom and decisiveness. For one job, you will have 3 shifts and 3 workers. So if you have a school, one teacher will come in the morning, another will come in the evening, and another will come at midnight. Including kindergarten teachers. He also says it is voluntary and will be implemented gradually. Ewurade Nyankopɔn.
You know, yesterday when I saw this video, I had to restrain myself and listen again and again and again. You see this gradualist approach that elements of this government always poo-poo, and you can go back to the secondary schools and go and check. if we had agreed to a gradualist approach to free SHS, all the problems that we have with free SHS might not have happened. If we had agreed to a gradualist approach to free SHS, not just being concerned about the numbers, right? The problems we have now relative to feeding, accommodation, furniture, red, gold, green track, blue track, we would not have had those situations. But we were more concerned about the numbers, to the point where we even invested millions of cedis to buy Pasco for children. And when the children went to, it had to take the president to come now to forgive some children who were using unprintable words on our president. If we had agreed to a gradualist, and the same gradualist approach is what Dr. Baumia is laughing at. The countries that we go and shamelessly borrow from, because we told ourselves that we will not borrow, we will only have to toll the roads and use the monies to do all the things that we want. We had a minister in this country who woke up even before parliamentary approval and cancelled road tolls. We are still not decided in our minds if we want to bring it back or not. But in 2021, the road tolls was supposed to be, a budget item. It was supposed to be a revenue line for us. The countries that we go and borrow money from, those whose system runs 24/7, do they have kindergarten children going to school in the night? Sometimes, let's be measured. The countries that we go and borrow money from, go cap in a pound in pound begging, from taxation to production, from Gojisbegan economy to all the things that we said to ourselves that we will not go and borrow. Then later we changed. I said the countries where we go and borrow from, do they have children going to school, kindergarten children going to school at night? We claim that we have created jobs for young people, and yet there are many more unemployed young people walking the streets, people taking advantage of them. Many more young people walking the street, people are taking advantage of them. Last Friday, we spoke with somebody who says he's a security man. And he says for the whole month, he goes to work and he's paid 700 Ghana cedis. The money is not enough. He said it himself. He told us on air, on radio, when we went for the 3FM bus ride. There are people who are paid 350 cedis. There are people who are paid 400. If you find those security people walking around, the private security, ask them how much they are paid. People are taking advantage of others. Some even don't earn the minimum wage. And an opportunity to create more jobs for more people. There's a 2014 baseline survey. Mr. Kandapa knows what I'm talking about, our National Security Minister. It was a national security document. It says there's a youth bulge and the security implications. It's in that document. This government adopted that 2014 baseline survey. It was put in a national security document. I was part of the group of editors that were called for that briefing. Since we got that information, what exactly have we done to make sure that we reduce joblessness or unemployment as a country for our young people, as opposed to keeping retirees at post? What exactly have we done? That's why I brought you the first thing I said. I said, look, find it for me. It said money, what do you call it? If money buys conscience, stupidity rules. Apostle Abraham Lante, he put it out there. He put it out there. We ought to wake up as a people and stop quoting figures. We told the young people of this country that, oh, we are going to, and this whole galamsey thing, we said, oh, we're going to have one district, one factory, right? And then we're going to have one village, one dam that will help with irrigation. And then we're going to have one district, one warehouse to store the food, right? So that because there was a correlation when you stop galamsey, people go logging. We said it. We said we're going to do a triangle to create more jobs. If the factories have indeed been built and the factories are functional, why is the unemployment rate still going up if people are getting jobs? Number two, look on your dining table. Which of the breakfast items this morning that you would have, or even for lunch, or even for dinner, is produced here? That was the taxation to production thing. How have we achieved it? Because if we have built the factories, you won't find people trying to get in the wrong side of things. People would find jobs to do. People will find jobs to do. What is our priority? Look at what we have done with the National Cathedral. The money we have sunk into National Cathedral could have built us 2 factories. The money we have sunk into that hole could have built us 2 factories. Now what we do is that we go and look for somebody's factory and then we do paintimaminto like that, but so can people do. We do paintimaminto, we add something small, then we say we have adopted. My own friend Kisi, he had a farm. He was looking for money from this government to expand his farm. He was not giving. Subsequently, when the tracker that was launched, he saw his farm in it. Nobody has contributed in it, but he saw his farm in it. Nobody has contributed, but he saw his farm in it. The dishonesty, the perfidy. It's a pity. And it looks like when you talk about it, it doesn't tickle anybody. Nobody is really concerned about fixing the issues. We will not mind you. We will not mind you. This morning, there's a graduate who is looking for an avenue for a job. He's at home. Somebody was telling me that 2020 batch of nurses, some are still at home. And I said, but nurses are of essential service to the nation. That's why other countries are rushing for our professionals. So in the past, if you're a teacher or a nurse or a doctor, you know clearly that once you are done with school, there's ready employment for you. Today, the situation is different. There's a backlog. Some have been employed, but there's a backlog. And you ask yourself, why are we allowing such an important resource to go waste? And I'm told the nurses, they have to always get a certain pin. They have to be, upgrading and writing plenty things that they explain. They pay money for it. So he's sitting at home. He doesn't have a job. And then we play politics with, if we had even done just 10 of the Agenda 111 hospitals. And that's the wasteful nature that we start everything and block, boom. Then we get stuck in the middle. What we have spread all across, and nobody says it's a bad initiative. Agenda 111 is a good initiative. The only point of departure is where we used it for politics in 2020. And based on that, we went on that wild goose chase. Can you imagine if we had just 10 of those hospitals, 10 in the traditional, or even 16, one in each region, only 10 or 16? It would have created jobs. Healthcare would have been nice. The government is ending its tenure. We have a vice president who is number 2, who is promising to save his government from itself. A government that he is instrumental in. And we don't have even one of the Agenda 111 hospitals up and running. And we gave ourselves 18 months from when they started. And up until now, we don't have one. A contractor was telling me that now they have been asked to focus on the exterior. So they are painting it, they are plastering it, they put the roofing on it, they work on the windows to give you an impression that something is happening. If you have not finished, you have not finished. And if the stages that they have gotten to, I'm not a health professional, but if the stages that the hospitals have gotten to by now, we should be, but we are not there. Can't we be honest with ourselves for once? For once, can't we be honest with ourselves? Have a good morning. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. After the break, we'll connect with you on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Hey.
Nana, who are you voting for this year?
How about area? As for this question, you need not ask. John Mama and the NDC, of course. Who else? You know there should be a change. Maybe I should have brought my to our papa.
Hey, Nana, born before computer.
Yeah,
do you still remember how to vote?
I am so sharp. On December 7th, when I get to my police station, I'll take my voter's ID card to the EC officer. He will check, find my name, and give me a ballot paper. I'll inspect the ballot paper and make sure the EC stamp is at the back with no other markings around it. When I get to the box, I will just inspect the paper again, search for the umbrella. I will just put my thumb in the ink pad and stamp the empty box just by the umbrella, not on the line or Mohammed's face, but in the empty box just by the umbrella. Then I clean my hand, fold my ballot paper vertically and horizontally, and drop it straight into the presidential box.
Ah, Nana, well done.
On the parliamentary candidate, I'll just stamp my hand in the empty box just by the umbrella. Now I'm done. Give it back.
Hey, na.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Santex and Crown Paints. Excellent paint that is resistant to peeling, mold, algae, and fungus. It comes in a wide range of colors with high opacity, high spread rate, and dries fast with no afterpaint stench. Santex and Crown Paints are distributed by Bamson Company Limited. Locus at Sickens House, Old Fatima Road, South Industrial Area, Accra, or any of our branches in Adabraka, East Legon, Tema, and Adum in Kumasi. Call or WhatsApp us on 0573839640. Santex and Crown Paint. It's not just paint, it's personal.
Hey, Ma.
How are you and the kids?
Grandma, I miss you.
Is that a Pia? Didn't she go to school?
Oh, no. She's just recovering from malaria.
You see why I don't like to come and visit?
Oh, Ma. Now we have the new treated nets for every room.
Are you serious?
Yes. Even your room has the new treated nets.
Adwa, then you'll be seeing us soon.
Yeah, now I sleep under my new treated net every night.
Are you serious?
Your insecticide-treated net now comes with a new type made for your sleeping comfort. The new net is very strong, highly resistant, and just as effective. Remember, a treated net is better than no treated net. Sleep under it every night and throughout the night to avoid malaria. Let's come on board Good Life to eliminate malaria now.
Good Life, live it well, it's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID and the US President's Malaria Initiative.
One choice, multiple styles, all big, all unique.
We all have that one friend, always by your side for the big moments and ready to assist. He's always got his eyes on the prize and his heart in the right place. Where would we be without our BFFs? This season, enjoy all 380 Premier League games with your BFF GoTV. Upgrade or reconnect to GoTV Super Plus for the discounted price of just 265 cedis today. GoTV, love it.
Once upon a time, in the heart of Accra, a man in his fancy car sought directions. But oh, the Ghanaian way.
Hello, bro. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you please show me where the presbytery is?
Oh, sure. Go straight. 10 left at the big mango tree with the broken branches with most of the mangoes falling. Right after that tree, there is a water cellar. If you reach, ask there. Anybody will show you.
When the Black Stars take to the field, every Ghanaian becomes a coach. Why Fatika want to be dribble? The coach must go. The sacred cue for our beloved Gobe. As we wait patiently, rehearsing the perfect vibe.
Have you acted? Mommy Gobe Nubi. The Kokono. 1
These, my dear ones, are some few moments that makes our Ghana truly special.
And as we share these stories, let us also remember a plate of lily rice, connecting our hearts through the flavors of our culture. Lily rice, ye nimno fritete. This advert is FDA approved.
In uncertain times, it can be hard to imagine yourself completing the SEMA professional qualification. But with our new digital-first learning and assessment platform, you can. The CGMA Finance Leadership Programme, or FLP, gives you control over your study progress. The CGMA FLP is a remote-based, self-paced learning platform that lets you qualify from home with online assessments.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
This is Hot Issues, your passport to the most compelling conversations of our time. We go one-on-one with the movers and shakers, the thought leaders, and the game changers. We ask the questions that matter, and we don't back down. Tonight on Hot Issues, I sit with the man at the Center of Corruption Investigations. Join me on Hot Issues here on TV3.
Hot Issues shows Sundays at 2 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news. Results.
And we are your election command center, and as you know, we're just about a day or two after a month to get to the next election. So today, exactly, just to give you up to speed or bring you up to speed with the latest when it comes to how many days there are to the next election. 31 days to the next election, or 32 days, depends on which of the days that you want to calculate. If you want to add the eve as well as the day of the election itself. As your election command center, what we have been able to do is to have a long year program of action. And apart from having the intermittent interactions and then the activations being done across all social media platforms, as well as various subsidiaries, TV3, we brought the conversation to you in your community with Community Manifesto. We went to a number of communities as well, all of us. Na Cookie Tea, Cash Mama, Cash Mommy. Cookie, you said the name is what? Cash Money Cookie. Cash Money Cookie, of course. When I say Cash Money Cookie, it means that *439# is the short code for you. And when you dial it with cash out, you have to choose option 2. I particularly always love the mega jackpot. And over the last 2 weeks, what we've done is give over 30,000, 40,000 Ghana cedis in graduated levels. So about 2 weeks ago, it was 5,000 Ghana cedis given to 6 people, 30,000. And then Cookie, the cash money Cookie Queen, decided to do a scheme last week, so graduated it from 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, then you went to 10,000. And the excitement when we brought Mary Magdalene in from Sunyani yesterday, who won one of the 10,000 giveaways for cash out last week on Friday by choosing option 8, was how happy she was because the mother was convalescing not too well. And so that 10,000 Ghana cedis also goes into making sure she is in a better position to look after the mother. So *439# means that today you get to win 2,000 Ghana cedis each, and in graduated levels, when we do the draws, we want you to be part of the conversation. So make sure you choose option 2, choose the number of tickets as you can. Good morning to Chairman Prosper, Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, those who are watching us, Riches Kokoti watching us from Tema, who works with Alu West. Kwesi Mensah is monitoring the US elections, apparently voted for the Democrat Kamala Harris. I want to make sure so that I don't say Kamala Harris, so that so Kwesi Mensah, brother, Mopocho, easy, my condolences, because Opati no win to win, but on your problem, the moon kunyimi is or next time. Inti no one some year can pay. Inti Kwesi Mensah, please, our condolences to you for your party not winning in the US, the Democrats, but as it is, it's not the finality yet. Already, we'll give you some pictures live where Trump is already going ahead of the race, putting the cart before the horse, and addressing his supporters currently. So we'll just show you those pictures. Your Election Command Center bringing you up to speed with the latest election result in the United States of America, in Ghana, Community Manifesto, having intermittent interactions, all alive right here. So let's know that this is where you have to get the latest. We'll also bring you what the various coalitions are in terms of which states, etc., and what needs to be done, and all that. And Trump is already talking. If we can get a sound bites, that we'll see. Can we get a sound bite? Is it possible?
No, she's done a great job. Works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron.
And we are your Election Command Center, right here, TV3, from our studios, right here in Ghana. Well, let's just introduce our guest for the morning. You know that the Speaker of Parliament says he's addressing a press conference today. So let's get serious with matters of Ghana. 32 days to this election, and it looks like Parliament, which needs to convene, that'll be tomorrow. Well, we're having a lot of activities, and the Speaker of Parliament, Albert Bagben, will be addressing the press. We don't know that, but our conversation, ideally, we wanted to have is predictably what should have been done to make sure that the House is in order. If, let's say, for example, just like the MPP did, the NDC side of the House also decides to say that, well, we're sitting, but as proceedings start, we're walking off, we want to go into our chambers to go and have some consultations, would it mean that, well, they've used procedures to defy the Supreme Court for that order or the status quo to remain? I mean, how would that also play out for our democracy? So let me just introduce on the stream first a political analyst, lectures with the University of Cape Coast. He's a regular on our various news and current affairs shows, Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere. Good morning to you, Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere.
Sir, do I have to do that?
Okay, so we'll have him. We'll just bring you, he's already there. So, sorry, we're just having some mix-up. And then in the studio, Jamaluddin is with the DMV It Is Possible 2024 campaign trail or team. And he's here. Jamaluddin, how are you?
Roland, I'm doing well.
Great guy, great guy. And then Courage Nobi, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
Been a while.
Always a pleasure to be back to your studios. Yes,
and then, of course, we have Edem Agbana. We went to his community manifesto session. He came there with some razzmatazz. I don't know why Edem likes branding. National level, he's going there, going to communities, making a lot of noise, saying they should vote for him, etc. Ketu North, member of Parliament candidate for the NDC. How are you?
Roland, I'm good. I'm very happy this morning.
Right. Nice meeting you once again.
Yeah,
right,
I'm
great.
happy to
and
be
you
back.
were all over.
But I hope you are following the elections in the United States of America.
We're not. You want to talk about that?
No, I'm just asking because
yes,
we live in a global village, and so everything happening
you have to take
in
it
America,
that way.
It affects us.
Okay.
But I'm just happy to announce that it is possible for a former president to return to the presidency after 4 years. Trump was mocked as a one-term president. Trump campaigned on the economy. He was mocked. They made all sort of assumptions and they mocked him and said he could never become president again. But this morning, I'm happy to announce that there is an emphatic victory for Trump in America. God indeed is the lifter of men. Come January 7, 2025, and you can mark it down, John Dramani Mahama will be sworn in as president of the Republic of Ghana. I have no doubt about it. And I know for a fact that President Mahama's victory on December 7th will be one of the most emphatic victories in the Fourth Republic. We will exceed all the other margins that as a political party we have gotten. And I agree with political analysts and watchers, okay, who even believe that even if, no, I'm concluding,
don't
even
like
if
Malik and be doing, I said hello, then you people are going.
Malik and I are friends, and so birds of the same feather.
Peace and fun, respectfully.
So, even if Dr. Bawumia was an unopposed candidate in these 2024 elections, the rejection rate would have been more. He would have been rejected.
Well,
so
I am
confident.
Let me also remind you that the Republican Party's emblem is the elephant, and Jamal will have a lot to say about it.
We are not voting for emblem.
Okay,
we are voting on message. We are voting on trends.
Oh no. So I'll come to you first then. And then Dr. Jonathan Santiotri is right there. He's available when he will be, and let me see whether he stabilizes his frame on the stream. Okay. Doc, how are you?
Yeah.
I hope you're well.
Roland.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm great. And you?
Yeah, fine. I hope you're monitoring the U.S. elections as well. But we're here to talk about Ghana's parliament. So we'll get on it very soon.
Well, yeah. Find out what I said last night on Angel TV.
Angel. This TV3.
Yes, I know it's TV3.
Okay, what you're doing is abomination. You don't do that. So let me say good morning to all of you who have joined us on our stream. As your election command center, we'll bring you up to speed with what's taking place in the United States of America in real time. We know that Donald Trump, we just brought that to you, addressing his supporters. Well, in the idiomatic expression or the English expression, he's putting the cart before the horse. I don't know why.
He's not.
Well, he's been declared.
In fact, Samuel was scheduled to speak earlier.
Okay.
But she has postponed it. Yes.
She has gripped her.
Oh.
All right. So let me say good morning to some great people who are already watching us. Albert Achu Lukumeko, a police officer in Jurapa, says he watches us a lot. Upper West region. And then also Brighter Pia, ASP, that's the Jurapa District Police Commander, my great friend. Good morning to you as well. And thank you for always watching us. Please share the stream. And all of you who are watching us this morning, I say that share the stream. Let's have some great conversations. And the speaker, Jamaluddin, what do you make of all this? You can have a bite on the dig that Edem tried to take at you. So you'll respond quickly as possible.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say good morning to our cherished viewers. And good morning I bring them good morning from the Vice President and Presidential Candidate of the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is currently in the Ashanti region, spreading the gospel of the bold solutions for the future. His running mates just completed the and he is currently moving to northern region. And
that's Napo, eh?
Yes, he will
okay.
be starting with northern region after he was done with Ahafo, Bono, and his environs yesterday. Then the Samira Baumia is also the wife of the presidential candidate. Is equally in the eastern region, vigorously campaigning and spreading the message to the grassroots of why the need to vote number one and why they need to vote for somebody with the requisite expertise, with the requisite knowledge to be able to transform this country. We all know that we are living in the 21st century where things have now changed, where people have abandoned the outmoded practices. And if you listen to the campaign message, you would have no doubt that Dr. Baumia is the right man to steer Ghana to the place we want to see ourselves in the nearest future. So the wife of the running mate, which is Napo, is equally in Accra, doing her rounds and sending the message. So I bring you good morning from the campaign team. And I remind you that, or I would like to remind the audience or our viewers that the number one, he is the best person to lead Ghana forward. Now back to what my brother was saying. He would say that a former president has been re-elected. I expected him to say that. And if Kamala Harris was elected, he would have said, oh, they've empowered women. You know, that is how communication is. You look at where you think will favor you, and you make your points based on that. So I'm not surprised that he's forgotten that the elephant is back to the White House. He's making his point, forgetting that even if we are going to compare Ghana to the US, we all know which party affiliates to the Republican and which party in Ghana affiliates to the Democrats. But I would want to make it clear that Ghana is not US. We are two different countries. We have our issues separately, and people would vote based on the message presidential candidates give to them, the promises, the manifesto, and everything that they would assure the voters they would embark on. If you realize, before these US elections, Nigeria, they will tell you, oh, Nigeria elections, if it goes this way, it will come to Ghana. Look, and even in the US, 2020, if it goes this way, there was a change in 2020, so there should be a change in Ghana in 2020. It doesn't, there is no correlation between the elections of Ghana and the election of US.
Really?
There is no correlation.
I think we have to change the subject and discuss the US election quickly. Please bring the Afrobarometer report, the latest as we have it. The CDD report, we'll look at what the key indicators are, and then we'll do that for 20 minutes. Are you sure there's no correlation between the United States of America, the living condition issues, the bread and butter issues, and then the issues that are affecting...
Every election that has gone on after COVID has similar, they've looked at similar sectors or similar indications every elections. But at the end of the day, those that inspire to prove themselves when given the opportunity, those that had good messages, those that had good strategies were able to carry the day. So you can't say because America, okay, why didn't Ghana vote for change in 2020 then?
Okay.
So you need to look at your message. What are you telling Ghanaians? Are you insulting? Are you giving them a message? Are you campaigning? Some people would campaign 2 days and go and sleep for like 1 week and get back to the grounds and do another 2 days and disappear for a couple of weeks. And they want, because another country has voted for an elephant symbol, they should equally be voted for. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So I believe we should just concentrate on our messaging If you have a message, you wouldn't say because somebody has voted for somebody, so you should equally be voted for. The key point is, what is your message? Tell Ghanaians your message. If they are convinced that your message is the best to propel the country forward, they would vote for you.
Well, certainly. And the key messages as you go around, according to what the surveys are indicating, what Ghanaians want. Top on the list: unemployment, job, health, the economy, etc. And Nobi, that's where we are currently, won't you say?
That's where we are. Of course, people always look at their living conditions, their circumstances to vote. Let me greet our viewers this morning, and to my brothers. I mean, for as for them and I, way back, we go all the way back to Legon days. You know, Debate Society, SRC.
You guys were SRC Nooks people?
Yes.
Your friends
yes.
like that?
Your brothers, okay. Your brothers. And then to Jamal, until recently, you know, we were on the same boat. You know.
Which boat?
The sinking one.
The sinking one.
I'll just leave it at that. You know.
Just say MPP. You were in MPP.
But at the end of the day,
the
key issue is, and that's where I probably disagree with Jamal, to say that this election is just going to be about the one who is giving inspirational messages. You know. Unfortunately, there is a syndrome I call the day to me syndrome.
Day to me syndrome.
Yes.
What is that, Nobi?
Very highfalutin, inspiring, empty word that bets nothing.
You think that is what is being reiterated in the election in Ghana?
Yeah, because I hold one principle, that anybody who promises to do tomorrow what he had the power to do yesterday cannot be trusted. I take that again. Anybody who promises to do tomorrow what he had the power to do yesterday cannot be trusted. You know, so no matter
anybody who promises
to do tomorrow what he had the power to do yesterday cannot be trusted. Why didn't you do it? And I think that is a Kamala Harris situation. You're in government. You've had all the power to do what needs to be done. You couldn't do it, and now, oh, I have a new message. I have a new vision. I have... No. It cannot be that way. And people will always go for what is credible. What is credible. And the Afrobarometer report suggests so, that Ghanaians are looking for a president they can trust. Somebody who is honest and has the character that they can trust. And in that scheme, Alan Trematin stands tall.
Are you sure?
Tall.
Okay, hold on with you. Look, this is coming thick and fast. Very fluid. Your election command center. And as we do it, we have to make sure that we keep up with all the issues relevant as they are. We also do know that if you take a look at the U.S. elections, it has a bearing on all economies across the world. Africa, West Africa, and you zoom in into Ghana, certainly. And so Trump currently addressing his supporters, who will take a few of the sound bites, come back into the studio, look at some correlations with our election and the bread and butter issues that have been raised in the United States of America, and then also those that have been surveyed popping up right here in Ghana. Donald Trump, now.
We defeated ISIS in record time. But we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 901, something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason. And that reason was to save our country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission.
Well, answer it. So you were saying, Obi?
Yes, as far as character and credibility is concerned, Alan has no power, has no competition in this year's election. And I think that is why the thousands of young people are excited about him, because integrity is the metal that leadership is made up of. But the Donald Trump victory also points to one thing.
Which is what?
Consistency wins. Consistency wins. He is an erudite conservative. It's unfortunate. I mean, today in this country, we have a conservative party that cannot even take a principal position on LGBT. But Trump and his party has been consistent that we are conservatives, family values first. And they've held on to that. But we have the NPP that's supposed to be conservative, but cannot even take a position on LGBT. So that kind of double tongue, that kind of lack of credibility, would not be rewarded by voters. Again, and finally, President Akufo-Addo over the last weekend told Ghanaians that we should avoid election prophecies. President Donald Trump, number 47, is a product of election prophecies. And I'm a Christian, and God takes interest in elections. God is interested in who rules the nations of this world. And in the book of Daniel chapter 4, he says that he appoints one to lead one nation and one to lead the other. So that convenient argumentation and the lack of integrity in public service, which is what I've seen us today with the kind of parliamentary brouhaha we are seeing, should not be rewarded at the polls in this.
You are saying that for this election,
yes,
and the narratives that have been churned out,
yes,
there's a complete lack of integrity,
absolutely,
and double standards and lack of principles. Is that what you're saying?
That is
why is that?
When you tell me that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, and the exchange rate breaks the bank, goes haywire, and you want to prefer a different argument for that, that is inconsistency. When you tell me that in 2017, we have decided, and Cabinet has decided, that we are going to build concrete roads henceforth, and that we are no longer going to do asphalt. And 7 years down the line, what we have seen is 99.99% asphaltic road construction. And then you now come again and say, I now have new solutions. In fact, they are bold. And the extent of their boldness is a repetition of what you promised and you could not do. That is inconsistency. That is lack of character. When you have a constitution that says that, your party constitution that says that if anybody moves to support the opposition candidate or an independent candidate, automatically the person loses their place. And you actually enforced that just 4 years ago. And subsequently, in a situation where 3 of your members of parliament, your party members in parliament, have decided to contest as independent candidates, and just as previous speakers of parliament gave meaning to the 1992 constitution and declared the seats vacant, it has been done, and you are fighting it in court, then you are inconsistent and you lack integrity. And that kind of party should not be taken seriously by anybody. These are the
You mean the electorate of Ghana?
Should not take any party that conducts itself in this manner seriously. So consistency is the mark of leadership, and it takes integrity for one to be consistent. Now, anybody who cannot even be consistent in their messaging, you cannot put your trust in them to improve your fortunes as a country.
And Adam, we've been going around community manifesto. You take all the issues, and it looks like the bread and butter issues. And now even nobody has even brought in about moral values, yes, the principles, yes, as human beings, as institutions, etc., and how that could influence voters. You think that also plays a part, or could play a part, in the next election right here in Ghana?
Roland.
And why?
Roland, I am a candidate in this December 7 general elections. As a parliamentary candidate, I go around my constituency, I interact with voters. At first hand, I can tell you all the issues that will inform the choice of candidates by electorates. And so I'm not surprised that my brother is struggling, trying to delve into an area that will make complete mockery of his candidate, Dr. Bawumia. When you look at even the CDD's Afrobarometer report, the survey, the number one factor that according to Ghanaians, 90% of Ghanaians interviewed or sampled said that honesty and character is what influences their choice of presidential candidate in this election. And if you put all the candidates on the table, I would want to limit it to the two main candidates. As we all know that the NDC and the NPP are the two main political parties. And so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Bawumia are the two main candidates in this election. You talk about character, you talk about honesty. These are areas that even NPP executives will not be comfortable talking about. Because when you talk about honesty, among these two candidates, which of them has earned for himself the infamous tag of being a liar? That even when you mention his name, the first thing that comes to the minds of the ordinary Ghanaian, the average Ghanaian, like you and I, is the fact that he is a vice president, he is a politician who is never consistent and has never been able to stand by his words.
You haven't heard the vice president.
I will give you several examples.
He's a vice president,
and I'm telling you that I will give you. I will give you
commanding position when it comes to decision making. But
so you see that for me is even the fundamental issue that exposes him as a dishonest person. Because if you are a vice president and you go around this country telling the good people of Ghana that under your watch as vice president, you have implemented 36 or 54 policies, I don't even know what the number he says, and that John Mahama as vice president never did same. Then again, when it comes to the failures of the government, you run away from it and tell the people that as for this one, I don't know anything about it, I'm only a mate and all of that. What kind of inconsistency is that?
People say that's true.
Because if you have no leadership, Roland, I tell my team that of all the characters of a good leader, one of the key characters that you must always look at is the person's ability to take responsibility. If you are a leader and things go wrong, you should be bold enough to accept that due to some shortcomings on your side, A, B, C, and D happen, and that's what great leaders do. You don't run away from taking responsibility, and today you want us to accept you as the person with the so-called bold solutions. What are the bold solutions? And it is ridiculous when they talk about message. What is Bawumia's message in this election? Let me go into the messages.
$100 million fund to be set up for fintech.
What happened to the $1 million per constituency?
We have already ongoing Agenda 111.
They talk about Agenda 111.
To reverse the tax e-levy and then also even the betting tax.
Roland, you are the current chairperson for the economic management team. At the time you were introducing the betting tax, when the NDC raised concerns and we spoke against it and said the betting tax was retrogressive and not a good tax to introduce, you defended it. All communicators, including our brother here, defended it heavily. All of a sudden, you are going into an election. Your research, your consultants are telling you that majority of the young people who are into betting are threatening to vote against your party because of betting tax. And because of that, you have changed your position. If the betting tax is not good, what prevents the government from scrapping it now? If the e-levy, which they told us was the panacea to the economic challenges that we are facing, why are they not able to remove it now? So this inconsistency, this dishonesty will not be tolerated by any serious voter. Number two, when you also look at the issues that will influence the good people of Ghana, number one is the bread and butter issues. How is the economy like? Roland, I go around rural communities. In fact, last night, around 9:30 p.m., I was in one of the communities called Agodeke campaigning.
You were in the trenches?
Yes, I do that all the time. Today is the only day that I've taken some short break of a sort. Right after the studios, I'm going back to my constituency. Roland, when you interact with the voters, look, farmers are telling me that in 2020, they bought a bag of fertilizer for 50 cedis and 70 Ghana cedis maximum. Today, the same bag of fertilizer that they were buying at 50 cedis is going for 500 Ghana cedis. And you tell me that bread and butter issues, you have performed better. Roland, farmers are telling me that we decide, which used to cost 8 cedis, 12 cedis, 13 cedis, today cost them over 100 Ghana cedis. You expect them to go and vote for you? Today, when you go to Georgia Market, Veta Jansen Market, Tajevu Market, Apipe Market, Penny Market, the market women are telling me that items that they used to buy for less than 50 cedis, some of those items are running way over 100 cedis, 200 cedis, and all of that. Again, I come from a constituency that shares boundaries with Togo. Roland, in 2016, the main campaign message of the NPP around the borders was the exchange rate. At the time, they were changing the Ghana cedis to the CFA for 4 cedis, 50 pesos. Today, it is 28 cedis, 30 cedis. So these are the main issues of the economy that we're talking about. And on all of these issues, Bawumia is a complete failure. I don't know why.
The voters will decide.
No, the voters will decide. And all the surveys are showing. I'm a voter myself. I interact with the good people of Ghana. I interact with all the voters. And Roland, all the issues that I have raised, he is unable to tell us. He's unable to tell us any sector of the economy where they can trumpet or they can say that Bawumia or the NPP has done better. But quick one on the American elections again. You see, the NPP is such a dishonest and inconsistent party. A few months ago, they were circulating pictures of the bus that
which bus?
No, you know, Dr. Baumia's whatever bus, the one he used for the campaign bus. Okay. And that is what the sitting vice president of America also used in her campaign. And they even said, and I have pictures.
Kamala Harris.
Yes, Kamala Harris. They even said that the two parties have the same colors, blue and white and red, you know, and the buses were branded in a similar way and all of that. Because at the time, two vice presidents seeking to take over, at the time, they believed that that Kamala was going to win the election. I have pictures of even their national communications director, Richard Ahiagba, and a delegation from the NPP that attended a congress of the Democrats. And so they clearly expected the Democrats to continue, so they would say, Vice President has won, succeeded. Today you have lost, you are changing position.
You mean so that it will have an influence on the communication
on the election? But all of a sudden, you want to shift your position.
Look,
please,
what is very clear? What is very clear for this election, whether in Ghana or in the US, is that the bread and butter issues, the living standards or the standard of living issues have been the key indicator that voters have made those decisions on. We'll just take you onto the screen before we go on to Dr. Asante Okyere and bring you what the numbers are. You look at the balance of power. The Senate will bring you that quickly, and these are projections that are being made, not full announcement so far. And already in the Senate, majority 218, the Democrats 169 of those states in there. We have 43 for the Democrats as well when it comes to on that side, 51 for the Republicans, and it's coming thick and fast. Abigail Darko, Ghana National Association of Teachers, my dear friend, good morning to you, is also watching us, saying we're doing some great work trying to mix what the conversations are in Ghana and the United States of America. That is why she says you, TV3, at the Election Command Center of Ghana, Obrin Ponkaba, also on our stream, saying that following the elections closely in the United States of America, and I can tell you that Ghanaian voters are also watching. Musa Wakiki says we need to go back and start from the basis, and that's where we are. And Agongo Roja says that this year's election, this year's election, it is going to be now or never. And then a number of others also on Facebook, and then also a streaming platform. Dr. Jonathan Asante Okyere, what do you make of this? The standard of living issues, its influences on voters, etc. The examples from the US, and we know that the surveys so far in Ghana are indicating same. Should we be taking a cue from this, and how could be the effect?
Roland, good morning once again, and to colleagues in in the studio. As you pointed out earlier on, when I wanted to avert your mind to what I said last night, I would say that I'm not going to mention the station again. What I said, but that is the reality. There was not a single panel member, last night who predicted for this or that. But I stuck my neck out. We need to do realistic analysis, of the dispensation that we find ourselves. Trump is a realist. And you see, when you tell the human being as it should be, not as you think it should be, they will understand and process the material, and they will reward you accordingly. For me, what I said was that Trump was going to win the elections. You may disagree with the way and manner he throws tantrums here and there. It is part of his communication style. Probably he may decide to change, but as per his nature, I find it very difficult that he'll be able to do so. The two main driving force in the U.S. Elections, two, the immigration issue and the economy. And when Trump was in power, America had the lowest unemployment rate for almost 50 or 60 years down the lane. When he was coming, he said that he was going to treat America as a business entity. He does not understand why American jobs should be elsewhere. The jobs must be in America. Make America great again. Now, two blocs were finding it difficult. One, the Europeans, the West, and two, the Israelites or the Israelis. You could see that Israel was in support of Trump winning. And I have said, time without number, that CNN has always had an agenda, and I stopped watching CNN. But in our part of the world, if you want to have a lot of information about those places, you cannot do away with CNN. The polling that they were doing, I said that to myself, I said, look, you guys, you're not being sincere or truthful to the matter. See what happened in the UK. We are in a changing trajectory. And I think that the post-COVID or pre-COVID and post-COVID era, all those in power then, they were not able to handle the affairs of the COVID with some kind of sincerity. And that in itself has equally affected these economies. And their leaders are going to suffer the consequences. And so you look at the American economy, you look at issues of immigration, you look at issues that, that border on family values, and you will see that Trump was definitely going to have, a head start. Well, it appears what Kamala Harris was talking about is that protect your freedom. They should protect their democracy. Trump is a threat to this. That is the kind of message. That is not a message. Because America, the institutions in America, will not allow an individual to do whatever he pleases. The West were worried. Why? You see this Ukraine-Russian thing. And it suits them because America is always spending money. And you, that the thing is close by you, you spend less. So Trump says that NATO, you guys must bring money. It cannot always be America. Yes, they are taking the leading role, but it cannot always be America. They must equally contribute. So he is treating America as a business entity that must not make losses. And that in itself will ensure that they create more jobs. It is not their fault that they have been able to build their country and build their economy. That style, for me, is the fact there's a message to all world leaders. Look, focus on your economy. Do well by that, because that is the message. He cannot be doing things that you ought to do as leaders of your own economy. And that style sank well with the Americans, and that is why he's gotten that. Now, I've heard people say or suggest that, well, because I knew very well that by today, whichever way it goes, you will have MPP saying this, you have NDC saying that, whichever way it suits them. But the economy, we are living in two different economies. In our part of the world, hunger is our middle name. Hunger.
In our part of the world, what is our middle name?
Hunger.
Hunger?
Yes.
Ekom.
Ekom, yes. Because if, for example, 2022 thereabout, World Bank tells us that over 800 or 800,000 Ghanaians have fallen down the poverty line. It means that people's lives are not getting better. And a human being is a rational being. And Aristotle will tell you that, look, what he talks about universal truth. If the circumstances are the same, no matter what, the human being will act in a similar manner once the circumstances are the same, irrespective of geographical location. So as rational human beings, you could see that we are in a changing trajectory. Find out what happened in the UK. Landslide victory for Labour. After Tony Blair, they had not had any Labour winning the elections. And you could see that in this post-COVID, the management of it, and so on and so forth, have really affected leaders of that period, because most of them, if not all, were not able to handle the affairs of the post-COVID era. And so if you look at our situation, look at where the CD to the dollar is. What does that mean? It means that cost of living in this country is going to go high. Look at interest rate. Now, what does that mean? It means that the private entities are not able to access, loans that are cheaper to be able to expand the economy. What does that mean? Our unemployment rate has increased from 8.3 or 8.2 to 14.7. It means the economy is not expanding. Find out what happened to government of Ghana with respect to treasury bill. Because they had to increase the rate, that is why they were able to get more money. So government is the one borrowing and crowding out the economy. So it is not by sheer coincidence or accident that our unemployment rate has gone up. 3, if you look at our debt to GDP, look, by the end of the year, according to World Bank or IMF, we are going to have 83%. What does that mean? We are only left with 17%. What will government be able to do with 17%? We'll have to borrow. Now, we cannot borrow on the commercial market or the Eurobond market because we are not able to pay our debt. That is 3. Look at inflation. All of these, if you look at inflation, it means that the cost of living is going to go high. It takes more money from our pocket. And as rational human beings, definitely they will want to go for a change. They will want a change in direction. There are other micro things, like the way and manner we've handled Galamsey, the way and manner we have rubbished this LGBTQ, which border on the value system of Ghanaians.
Okay.
All of these will contribute in deciding, making the Ghanaian take a decision. So that direct extrapolation that, once that's happened in the US like that, it's going to happen. That one for me is more of a voodoo analysis.
A voodoo analysis, okay.
And political analysis. What pertains here is what will determine. There are some people who will easily do that juxtaposition, but because of political convenience. But what is the reality here, Roland, is not good, and it does not favor the party in government.
Well, but your narrative is also what sings with Jamaluddin's own narrative. It says that the conversations will be about what really happens in Ghana. But as we wrap up, before we get onto the issue of the speaker and whether parliaments can reconvene, Jamaluddin, quickly, it will mean that the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's message to the ordinary Ghanaian is what is going to resonate. What will be some of your top 5, you would say, that you think that voters should focus on and then vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, DMB? It is possible, 2024.
Thank you very much. My brother, when he was speaking, made certain allegations. He spoke.
Who's your brother?
My brother, Adbana, from the other side.
Okay.
Adbana made certain claims. He spoke about inconsistency, and I believe if he's talking about the inconsistency we know or understand, then I'm sorry, President Mahama is rather the person who is inconsistent. This is somebody who openly opposed key policies and said, example, he said free SHS is how do you call it? It's a desperate pledge of a politician. He opposed free SHS. The NDC went further to produce over 40 adverts opposing free SHS.
No, yesterday. Yesterday, I had to do a correction and then some level of retraction, please. I think this is public knowledge. Yes. What we know of the former president's position has been that the free SHS policy or funding secondary education should be done at a graduated level. That's the position.
My brother. You chose what to select from the couple of things Mahama said. I know, and I have a video of him saying that free SHS is a promise of a desperate politician.
No, I've seen that video myself.
I think the quotation was that we should not implement,
and he even went further to say on the whimsical
of a desperate politician. Yes,
and
that doesn't mean what you are saying.
Doesn't mean that it's okay. Please, it's entitled to his opinion. Let's go ahead.
They went further to bastardize major key proposals the MPP was bringing. Today, when you even take the nurses and teacher training allowances, where he said he would not restore them even if he's going to lose the elections. Today, what is he saying? So, if it's about integrity, then I'm sorry. John Mahama has no integrity. And you know that for a fact. Aside from that, you talk about key campaign messages of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Your top 5 that you would want voters to take a look at and then vote for him.
Dr. Bawumia has looked into the situation we find ourselves in Ghana, looking at the canker, the successes, and what can be done to fix such problems. That is why, as a vice president, he confidently tells you, I made proposals, 33 proposals, which were accepted and implemented as a vice president. And when you go to John Mahama's record as a vice president and as a president, he cannot give you one single social policy he has implemented. Dr. Bawumia has indicated that when he comes, he's analyzed the tax regime system and has realized that entities or companies struggle with taxes. So he's going to, first of all, start a flat rate system, give an amnesty, let everybody start on a clean note, and ensure that we can be able to have a good tax system that will allow everybody to pay taxes. He has also indicated that he knows that the youth of the country are struggling with employment. We are in a digital era. He would train youth with digital skills to enable them become job creators instead of job seekers. He has also indicated that electricity costs, which we all know affects most or major activities in the country, he would ensure that we divert an aspect of our electricity production to solar, and that would drastically reduce the cost of electricity in the country. Talk about transport system, he's indicated that yes, we would look at bringing in electric vehicles to help with the transport system of the country. And
as I'm talking to you, some of these electric vehicles are in the country. Most of them are currently being piloted, which I know you've seen, or you've not seen them. We've also looked at the reducing the withholding tax for small-scale gold exports to 1% to discourage smuggling. There are a lot of smuggling ongoing at the moment, which he believes that when we look at the situation, we'll be able to reduce the withholding tax. And you see, the key issue,
your 5 is
one of the issues in this country is land acquisition. Land acquisition has been a challenge for people. People buy lands and they end up losing the lands because there are 2 or more people that have claims to those lands. He said, look, I would engage the traditional authorities or the families, ensure that Land Commission would register all those lands for free. When the Land Commissions register those lands for free, we would now put it on a system where if you are acquiring a land, you know that the land you are acquiring is legitimate. The family, those that owns the land, are legitimate and well checked. Then you'll be able to purchase the land to ensure that people would not be engaging in corruption when it comes to land. Oh, there's more.
I know. I said top 5. So you mentioned top 5, yes. So now you've done 6. If I let you go, you
because there are a lot to say.
Okay, your top 5.
Yesterday, he also spoke about the tax incentive for these IT startups, where he would be giving them grants to encourage more youth to look to provide solutions, to create solutions that would to create platforms that will be able to solve our solutions.
Top 5.
Top 5.
From your GTP, the Bible.
Yes, the Great Transformational Plan. Not necessarily...
And it's online. When you go there, you'll say.
Not
top 5.
A manifesto of promises,
Mr.
but a plan. Top 5, industrialization. Without industrialization, you cannot create jobs. Alan Chemartin says key focus for him as a government, as a president, is industrializing Ghana so that we can create jobs for young people to have that. Connected to that is the National Agricultural Revolution. You need to be able to feed your people. If you cannot feed your people, then you are not doing anything. And to that, we are going to support young businesses. What we call the farm banks are there to ensure that you're able to feed ourselves and to produce for industrialization and export. Third, constitutional reform. In 1988, when they set out to write a constitution, it had 2 objectives. The first one is political stability. The second one is transformational development. In the last 32 years, we've achieved political stability. Transformational development has not happened. And that is because of the loopholes within the constitution. 32 years down the line, Alan Chemartin says he's going to lead the reform of that constitution so that we can fine-tune it to ensure development. That is 3. The next one is stopping the 2 major canker that is destroying this country, corruption and galamsey. Corruption and galamsey. He's going to stop it, and the reason why we can trust him to stop it is because he's not corrupt, he's never been corrupt, and will never be corrupt. He's never done galamsey and will never do it. He has the character and the competence to stop it. Last but not least is that private sector-led infrastructure development. Presently, where we are now, we've locked ourselves off the international financial market for borrowing. By the domestic debt exchange, we've locked ourselves off the local market. Where the money is now is private sector. Alan is going to allow the private sector to be the real engine of growth as far as infrastructure is concerned. But lastly, my brother said that we all know that the election is about the
it's not part of as a top 5.
Oh, no, lastly,
top 5.
Yeah,
and don't go 6, please.
No problem. I can give you my top 10, but you are asking for 5. Let me start with the 24-hour economy. For me, it is a game changer that will open up Ghana's economy for productivity, Ghana's economy for more jobs to be created for young people. And so that is my number 1 policy.
24 hours.
I go around my constituency, and the number 1 challenge for many young people is the issue of jobs. And I believe that the 24-hour economy is also to open up the economy for more jobs to be created. Number 2 is the National Apprenticeship Program, where young people desirous of acquiring skills as artisans will be supported by the government to do so. Machines will be bought for them. At my level, I'm implementing what I call the Empower 500. And Roland, the stories from that program is heartwarming, and so it is one of the things that I look forward to, so that my constituents and young people across this country can benefit from the National Apprenticeship Program. Number 3 is the Operation Recover All Loot. Roland, the number 1 canker.
What is that?
That's the oral policy to fight corruption. The number 1 canker.
Sorry, what policy?
Oral. Operation Recover All Loot. The number 1 canker that we are confronted with as a country today, especially under this NPP government, is the issue of corruption, where we have a sitting vice president and the president of the republic supervising the wastage of 58 million United States dollars into digging a very big hole, and nobody is being prosecuted. As we speak, there are people still receiving salaries for that project, even though
the statement that has been sunk in the investigations. Show the NDC.
I am telling you that whether you are a pastor, you are a malam, you are whatever, you are involved in this project. Accountability. Okay, we need to punish people so that corruption will become unattractive to others, and people must be punished for it. As we speak today, over $36 million has been sunk into renovation of stadiums for no work done. Members of President Akufo-Addo's family and all of that. Which is your field? About when the contracts were awarded,
so you were misinforming.
Well, you know sports better than me.
How is it true?
Okay, so
the Minister of Defense brought out a statement that gave that point out everything clear. So if you claim no work was done, then that is false.
You say it's false.
Roland.
You say that you, my brother,
Roland.
Number 5.
Roland. It is very difficult. No, but
dispute the statement.
Chief, behave yourself. Behave. You made a lot of. You gave a lot of misinformation. You gave a lot of. I kept quiet. Respect yourself. Misleading.
Please.
It is very different. Roland.
So you go.
Roland. It is very different to be an errand boy for sports minister.
I'm not an errand boy.
No, let me tell you, Roland. No. Let me retract that.
Yes.
Roland, let me retract that. Roland, and I'm telling you that I have retracted, but he should keep quiet.
That word, please.
Tell him to keep quiet. He should shut up. And I said I have retracted it, but he should shut up. But for him to tell me that is his area.
Number 5, Edem.
I've been a football administrator for close to 10 years. You don't know sports better than me. So shut up when I talk about sports. If indeed work was done, why was Ghana suspended from Ghana banned from hosting our international games on our pitches? No, we were banned until emergency works were done on the Accra Sports Stadium. Please. Why? You didn't see the letter from CAF? What sort of ignorance is this?
You are rather displaying.
Number 5.
Roland, let your viewers, everybody. Roland, you didn't see the. Look at this.
What do you have there?
Stop making mockery of yourself, Roland. The free primary health care is also a policy that I consider very important. Roland,
how is that going to be different from the health insurance?
Okay, so
healthcare they are already giving.
For national health insurance, there are a number of treatments, specific treatments that are listed that when you have the card at any facility, when it works perfectly, you can access. But for free primary health care, we are saying that at the chief's compound level, health center level, clinic level, and polyclinic level, as a Ghanaian, you can access healthcare free of charge. When your condition is one that requires you to be transferred to a higher facility, then the national health insurance can come to play over there. But basic level, you can access healthcare. And there are many others, National Women's Development Bank and all of that. But Roland, while retracting the statement I made that there is very different following a sports minister or being an errand boy for sports minister and all that. I've retracted. Let me state that, look, Roland, what the NPP has done to our sports sector, the shame, the embarrassment that we were subjected to the extent that Ghana had to even apply, be begging Togo
to give us their sporting facilities and all of that. But we also saw the letter. What is not true? Please.
Jonathan,
well, you didn't see the CAF letter.
You saw the letter to Togo?
Please. You didn't see the CAF letter. You didn't see the CAF letter, please.
You can't hear
it is important you don't no. You don't go there. Don't go there.
It's okay. Jamaluddin. All right.
What do you know about sports?
Please. The two of you. It's okay. He works with the minister.
This is the official statement.
Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere, your conclusive remarks. At the end of the day, on December 7, what will be the key issues that Ghanaians will be voting on? Just quickly in 4 minutes. Then I read some messages before I go.
Minister will not fly $3 million and the flight.
Oh, please. Look at this.
He will not.
Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere, what will be the key, the top 5 issues that Ghanaians will be voting on?
The sports minister will not do that.
Under his watch, even sports associations cannot get kits. That's a shame.
Which sports association?
You guys, you don't know.
Dr. Asante-Okyere.
You are saying.
Dr. Asante-Okyere, can you hear me?
How much did you use to even feed?
Dr. Asante-Okyere, can you hear me?
Such a corrupt, incompetent.
Hello?
What did you contribute to the development of sports in this
sports
country?
minister we have ever had in this
Dr. Asante-Okyere.
The NDC government contributed to the development of
what? All right.
We were never banned from international matches.
Doc, can you hear me?
Why you didn't see the CAF? You are such a sycophant.
All right. Okay, the two of you, let me read some messages. Let me read some messages. Please.
Where did we play affect Ghana?
Please. I have this one from Dr. Asante-Okyere. Can you hear me?
What do you know about sports? Don't make that statement to me again.
Doc.
That's an ignorant errand boy, and you are talking about,
Unmute.
Roland.
The top 5.
I can hear you loud and clear.
What will be the top, quickly, in 3 minutes, the top 5 issues based on your own observations as an analyst, politically, governance, transparency, you think Ghanaians will be voting for, will be looking out before they cast their votes?
I think I've already mentioned a few of them.
Top 5.
There are certain indicators that affect generally every Ghanaian. Inflation, that is cost of living. Do you have access to funds in terms of interest rate? It is quite high. Our debt to GDP is making government struggle to do infrastructure development. And so people are looking at the bad roads, the schools that have not been able to be built, the hospitals that are that have not been completed, and so on and so forth. But if you look at it generally, cost of living, that is the economy, which global analytics have always been predicting. Cost of the economy is the first, well, followed by, they said, joblessness. Most or many people have completed school, they are not getting jobs. They've written time without number application letters for employment here and there. Is not going so well. Education has become quite costly, and education is not only limited to the SHS level. Even at the lower levels, if you really want to give your ward proper education, definitely you will not be entertaining some of those public institutions and so on and so forth. And so cost of living, which is a driving force, joblessness, which is the second, education, which is the third. But the two other things that people think that they may vote for or against is this galamsey, which is an existential thing. Our government has not been able, and galamsey affect everybody. Because I've said that, look, if whatever they are doing in the mining sectors could affect only those people doing the mining in that area, well, if they have decided to kill themselves, that's okay. But here is the case, it affects all and sundry, and our water bodies have been polluted. So we cannot sit idle. There is this defining thing, which is the LGBTQ, and finally that decides our value system, and we cannot look on. Corruption, well, corruption. But I think that Ghanaians will also want some kind of accountability.
Okay.
That accountability can only happen when there is a change in trajectory. Because I don't see how Dr. Bawumia will want to investigate PDS. I don't see how he will want to investigate SML. Because the president himself, when they launched the manifesto, said that everything that they have done, Dr. Bawumia is part. And that's the one reason why he's him, right? He's been there through thick and thin, day and night. with the president. So there's nothing that, the two of them or somebody will have done without the other knowing. And so in terms of accountability, it's something that is going to be difficult to exact from Dr. Bawumia. And that is the more reason why I am of the view that Ghanaians will want a change in direction.
Well, a political analyst, lecturer, University of Cape Coast, Dr. Jonathan Sante Ochre, ending our conversation this morning. In the studio, Courage Nobi, thank you for joining us this morning as well. Movement for Change, we've ended. Looking at the tension in the studio. And then also Jamaluddin. Jamaluddin, thank you for passing through as well. We're grateful. And I'm hoping that we'll have some camaraderie among all of us. Edem Agbana, parliamentary candidate for the NDC, Ketu North. We are your election command center. As always, what we want to do is to make sure that we conclude succinctly with the latest on the US election. And let me just read a couple of messages before I admit some conclusive remarks from our guest. Fokafui from Ho says, please tell us when the Youth Resources Center stadiums are going to be completed. The Adaklu one has been completed, but then after the Independence Anniversary event,
it was incomplete.
Then it was left to rot, you say.
It wasn't completed. It was around 90-something% complete.
He says it's been left to rot. That's the word he uses.
The WA currently, what is ready for commissioning is the WA and the Azim, which will be commissioned before the end of the year. The rest, six were supposed to be commissioned before the end of the year. But
how many have been commissioned so far?
One has been commissioned, which is the Koforidua. And 6 was supposed to be commissioned before the end of the year, but 3 have had some delays, but they are all around 90-something. The rest around the rest of the 4 are around 84, between 84 to 90.
Jamaluddin, I'll take his word for it. He works closely with the Minister for Sports, Edem Agbana. Prince Henry Kofodia says, say no to LGBTQ, and I certainly know the majority of Ghanaians will make a change. You claim the future is pregnant. PHK, please, Edem Agbana, Roland, please. What did the MPP rep say was their top 5 policy projections going forward? And that's from Delali Agbenyaga. And Delali, good morning to you. Delali, good morning to you. It's been a while. And then also Julius Agaowa. You said I haven't been reading your messages. Julius Agaowa and Tahiru as one say, please tell Jamal to also allow them to continue his fantastic work. I think he's allowed him. I don't know why you say that. No more 5 seconds. Our time is up. And then Osaibunsu from Ishaiso in Kuma, he says, just go around the country. Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia and Nana Dankwe Akufo-Addo, they've done a lot of work. Over 12,000 kilometers of roads, various levels completed. And so that is why the MPP will win the votes come December 7th. Philip Abochi also says that I want to urge all meaningful Ghanaians that they should take a cue from the US election and do the needful, you say. And let me just read the last one, and then we'll go for a break. This one is coming from Ambassador Sampiyal. He says, God himself is writing the slogans for Ghana. It is possible for Ghana, not for the MPP, you say. And you say, rather, it is possible we should go to JDM, you claim. All right. So, down by 4 now. Most journalists in who are sending messages about that club.
They wanted to did politics, went to do independence.
So we're going to give you all the latest when it comes to the U.S. elections, the results trickling in. We know that Trump has already addressed his supporters. That will not be the end of it. The latest being, as you can find, by way of the majority of the Republicans in the House, per the provisional results so far. And I tell you all the latest right here. Your Election Command Center, TV3, streaming across social media platforms. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
Bawumia said this in 2016.
If you know what can work for our economy, why is the economy collapsing in your hands after 8 years?
When asked same question in 2024 after the collapse of our economy and why he, Bawumia, hasn't done anything to fix it, this is what he said.
Why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto. Otherwise, if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office? I mean, how can you do everything now?
It makes you wonder the double standards. When questioned about how terrible the economy is doing, he told us that it's the same in most other countries.
Throughout, especially 2021, 2022, however, it's very clear, say, cost of living has gone up across. Even when I was in Canada just a few weeks, less than 2 weeks ago, that was the complaint.
Yet, in opposition, he quizzed.
How can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen?
When you compare the indicators of Ghana and Kenya as they fared under COVID, you can see that Kenya did far better. And we ask again, how does global economy affect Kenya differently and destroy Ghana this much? Bawumia, why the double mouth? Bawumia says this about taxation.
The MPP will shift the focus of economic policy away from taxation to production. So we are going to move away from taxation to production. From taxation to production.
They have introduced over 40 draconian taxes, thereby imposing
the rate of depreciation. What are we going to say?
Today, the city has performed so terribly that we are told that it has gained the notorious title of being one of the worst performing currencies according to livelihoods and jobs.
It will be more difficult because we have family, we have parents, we have kids, we are taking care of them.
This man cannot be trusted. He told us in their 2016 manifesto that no village would have a water problem or toilet problem.
There should be no village or community in Ghana after the first 2 years that would have a water problem or a toilet problem.
These are students of the Wale Wale Senior and Technical High School. I have been with
1 in 4 persons struggles to get water according to World Health Organization. Even in Wale Wale, Bawumia's hometown, as seen in this video, Bawumia, even in power, did not stop promising. Here is a promise he made to the people of Cape Coast.
People of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast.
Unfortunately for Bawumia, it took his own president to expose him.
So as far as the harbor, we have to be very clear in our mind. We never committed ourselves. I never said I was going to build a harbor in Cape Coast. I said I was going to build a landing site.
One wonders how he does it. His trustworthiness matters. A man who cannot be trusted is not fit to lead and not worth your vote. Say no to the liar. Vote wisely and vote John Mahama.
The 5 kg of rice has moved from 25 cedis to 165. Oh. Hey!
Boss, cement moved from 24 cedis to 105 cedis now. Hey!
The kenke is 5 cedis. The fish, I have 10, 15, and 20 cedis. Which one do you want?
Hey!
Stop the A.
Hey!
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Want a free bets? You might follow these steps. You can join 1xBet app. Confirm your participation. You can bet on the correct match score. You can get a free bet every week. 1x free bet. Active bonuses for active players.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gambling can be addictive.
One of the most important and popular forms of communication is through a television set, and not just any television set, but Franco television set. We have smart and LED TVs ranging from the smallest of 32 inches to the biggest of 86 inches. Franco television is easy to operate, It gives you the best picture and it has distinctive features like maracas, USB, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and 4K resolution pictures. Rush now to any of our branches nationwide or on our website at www.francotrading.com. You can call the numbers on the screen for any assistance. Franco Trading Enterprise is still the home of quality television sets.
The food be fire. You hear say Electoral Commission they do some exhibition things?
Exhibition? What be that one too again?
This are EC and their big English. Is this exhibition even necessary?
I don't know, self. Look, isn't that our boss from the EC? Okay, my people.
I couldn't help but overhear your discussion about the upcoming exhibition. Let me explain one or two things to you. You see, the officers who register voters are human beings. They are not machines. You understand? So sometimes they might make mistakes when entering your information.
So how would this affect us?
You might live in Kaswa, but then they would accidentally select Ayawaso as your district. Or even they can mark you as a female when you are a man.
Assemble.
Go and check that your name is in the register. Say, with details of a correcto perfecto. That is why we are doing this registration.
What if my name isn't there at all?
My brother, don't worry at all. You can ask them for your name to be included in the register once you have your voter's ID card. You can also ask for the correction of a wrong sex. You are male, but they have written that you are female. So you give it to them and they correct it on the card for you.
Really?
Go and fix it very quickly. Who's how you're Bema? Now we'll catch you with a female.
Where?
Remember, we all make mistakes. That be why the laws they make provision for the exhibition. So say the EC go fit correct all the errors. The EC they ensure say we get clean and credible register. So make you go check your details quick crowd. Or you go fit dial the short code *711*51#. So say you go check your details. You check in there, you go fit check till the elections. The 2024 voters register not there. It be Finchim correcto perfecto.
The luckiest
*712#.
Luckiest everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get back packing so you have to come out. Wallahi. Hey, wait. Put it on this time. My man. Good luck. We'll be ready. We are *712#. It's much phone. Someone dialing the magic numbers. *712#. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else? Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now we try. You need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or prefer tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random tickets, the system chooses.
Ghana is voting. Only peace. Peace. I give it to you all.
I love Ghana.
Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody.
One Ghana. Ghana.
I will ghost him. So like what you feel like?
I'm suddenly not feeling too well.
Answers to life's big questions. Has someone asked you to do kapoha before?
I don't drink.
You go to church and pray for miracles. But that's somebody's money.
The owner is going to come.
For a show filled with excitement, laughter, and unforgettable moments.
Me, I live life full of drama to the left, to the right. If you see me, look this side, ever.
To games that keep you laughing. What in the name of Peppa Pig is going on here? Just As Tonight is the place to be, where the fun never stops.
Just As Tonight shows Fridays at 8 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Onga Betway.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Do I live in your mind? Am I a prophet? So I go nobody gets at your heart now.
Watch The Bachelors and stand a chance to win home appliances as well as many other amazing prizes every week. Answer daily questions correctly at the end of every episode via the WhatsApp number 0247 120 633 to be a winner.
Betty!
So stay tuned and you can get your hands on some amazing prizes weekly. The Bachelors, showing Tuesday to Thursday at 9 p.m. only on TV3.
Conversation on our YouTube channel, get interactive on Twitter, and use the hashtag #TheTrendsGH. The Trends, the biggest conversations on social media. Join me and my guests every Friday and share your opinion, your thoughts, and of course, get interactive every Friday live on TV3.
The Trends shows every Friday at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
In 5257, I beg your pardon, with 3 numbers after that. Bill Eshan is checking his phone to see if he's the winner, but he's not the winner. Congratulations to you wherever you are. I'm sure my producers are going to help me establish contact with you this morning. But wherever you are, you just won yourself 2,000 Ghana cedis. Time now for you to also get in the game if you haven't played it yet this morning. Today is the regular one, so option 2, TV3NnewDay, that's what you're choosing. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. And I love the way this game is catching on. Now you are understanding that the more you play, the more your chances of winning. Now, we don't even speak to people who play once, twice, or thrice. They play from 10 and above. So keep playing to increase your chances of winning. Congratulations to you. 3 more to go. 2,000 Ghana cedis going out to 3 people. Keep playing. Time now for sports.